Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sacred Femme Alchemy podcast and another episode in our series of the Shakti Soul Sessions. We're at episode number 7. Wow. So I love the fact that I'm doing this right after I just finished leading our Sadhana practice. We are on day 35, which means we are coming to a close this Saturday. And it's hard to believe that we've been doing this practice for the last 35 days and doing sadhana, doing a daily spiritual practice of leading a group through a particular kriya that we do every day. Sometimes what happens is you feel so much juice and so much momentum in the very beginning. And then towards the end, you start to get senioritis and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to show up. I don't want to do it. All of those things. And that's when you really have to find your center, find your strength, find your power to continue putting in the same amount of effort as you did in the very beginning. And this made me think about all the things that we tend to manifest in our life. And what happens is we get sick of it. We get tired of it. Maybe we don't want it anymore. And then we're off into the whole cadence and rhythm and system of, and cycle of, I need something else will be better. And so I wanted to really anchor our practice this morning. And that's what I centered my Dharma talk around, was this idea of how do we bridge the gap of what it is that we are manifesting and what it is that we currently have now. And I learned this in my Kundalini training, and especially when we actually do the protection mantra in the very beginning, which means truth in the past, present, and future. And what we're doing is all timelines, they do exist in the present moment. And so our thoughts in this moment, our thoughts are creating our future. Because when our certain belief systems come up, we align our actions to those thoughts. And if we don't change our thoughts, then the actions that we're taking are going to prepare us for the future, whether it's something that we want, whether it's the most optimal one, whether it isn't. And so it's really about how do we learn to feel gratitude in this moment? And it's so easy to think, okay, for the last 35 days, we've been thinking about what it is that we want to anchor into this earth. What are the new things that we want? What are the things that we're calling in? But hopefully come from a place of complementing your life and not being the thing that you think is going to fix you, or thinking that you have this goddess-sized hole in you, or that some sort of, a materialistic thing is going to make you feel better about yourself. And the beauty of manifestation is it relies so much on the feelings. And so I think of it akin to the concept of inner and outer abundance, where our external reality is just a reflection of our internal world, of our internal reality. And so what we're doing in manifestation practices and techniques is we're allowing our feelings to conjure up the images that we want to see. And so our external reality can't do anything but just help but catch up with the momentum that we're feeling inside. And it's actually the fastest way that you can manifest versus bringing something into your world, into your physical world. And we really focus on connecting to our third eye. And that is the mind's eye. And that is the eye that can see beyond the veils, that can see beyond the physical realm. And so it's really connected to the cosmic realm. And just because we can't see what it is that we're trying to anchor in doesn't necessarily mean that we're not doing the inner work inside. And so as you're having your own manifestation practice, whether you're with us, whether you're not with us, whether you're practicing with us, it's really important to think about, there were certain things in your life that are here in this moment, and maybe it's lost its luster, its novelty, the honeymoon period's over, and you're just over it. So maybe you were really excited about having a new job. You got that job. You've been in that job for maybe 2 to 3 years, and you're just over it, right? You're over it. And the things that you were really excited about the job in the first place just doesn't feel good anymore. You're used to it. You don't care about it. And so you just show up sloppy. You show up in a half-hearted way. And so what I really encourage you to do today, and the intention of the day, is to really think about how can you show up in your life as a beginner? How can you show up in your life as if all the things that you have in this moment are new things that haven't been in your life for a very long time? Maybe you already manifested the house. Maybe you've already manifested the partner, the romantic relationship. Maybe you've already manifested the networking groups that you have. Maybe you've manifested the business and the income that you want to generate every single month or every year. And you're like, no, I don't want to be 6 figures. I want to be 7 figures. I want to be a billionaire. It's this idea that manifestation isn't about necessarily accumulating materialistic things or wanting more. It's not about trying to attract more and more. That actually helps us align to a capitalistic society. But the point is of when we manifest from the highest good and for the highest good of all, does it affect other people other than yourself? And so really think about, what are you manifesting? Are you manifesting from your egoic side, your egoic tendencies to make you feel better about yourself, to have more money? It's if you want more money in your business, why do you want more money? What are you going to do with those things? And if you want a romantic partner, what's the point? Is it because you feel lonely? Because you feel, oh my gosh, my time is running out, or I don't want to have conversations with people on the holiday about what my romantic status is, or feeling jealous, or maybe you just want a baby, but you don't necessarily understand, okay, I don't really care about the person who I'm going to have the baby with. I just want a baby, right? And so really think why it is that you want to manifest the things that you want. And when you're thinking about that, think about the things that you want to manifest or that you've already manifested in this moment. And how can you bring more gratitude into your life for those things? And how can you have that beginner's mindset of really feeling so grateful for those blessings? There was a time when you didn't have them. And so what would it look like to reignite that spark? And sometimes it happens when when you have what you wanted for a very long time, right? How do you ignite that spark into your life where you're so amazed by the things that you want? And so instead of focusing on that manifestation that you're trying to bring into your life, I really want you to bridge the gap. And so this is what I call bridging the gap in manifestation, of bringing your manifestations from the past into the present and into the future, right? It's a continuation of yourself. It's part of the continuum and the evolution of who you are. And so can you treat it as a blessing? Can you treat it as a sacred experience that you're having in your life? And can you bring the sacredness into the mundane? Because it starts to become mundane. And so what is it like to feel that magic in your life? Okay, and so it's going to be a bit of a different technique towards manifestation, but it's when we have that juice, it's when we're excited for all those things, it's when we're grateful for all those things. And this is just a very simple practice of just learning to read the chapter in your life right now. There is a technique in manifestation called scripting. And scripting is when you're writing your memoir, you're writing everything, you're writing a book as if everything you've ever wanted to manifest has already happened. And you are just reading a snapshot in time of what your actual life looks like. And you are living your own scripting right now. Your own scripting from maybe a couple months ago, your own scripting from maybe years ago, right? And so live it. Live it, be grateful, be embodied in it, be embodied in your own manifestation, because that will actually build momentum for the manifestations that you want to call in even more, because it gets you so juiced up, so turned on, so excited for the things to come. And beautiful souls, so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want more of this, definitely subscribe to my podcast, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to my newsletter, follow me on social. I do have a couple of things coming up where we have an opportunity to gather together. And so even if you haven't joined us for the last 35 days, you can still join in the Sadhana. The Telegram group is there. Join in now. You can join anytime in our practice, because I love doing this together. When we do it in community, we actually raise the vibration of all of the goodness and the healing and the collective here on earth. And tomorrow's a big day for people. It's going to be, I know people are a little bit on edge. They're feeling that anxiety of what's going to happen to the US and everything, but it's lean into your sadhana, lean into whatever daily spiritual practice you have so that you can remain grounded despite what happens in your external reality. Just as I spoke about in this Dharma talk, just as I spoke about in the Shakti Soul Sessions, it's about learning to remain grounded in your own energy, learning to remain intact to your own inner abundance of what you feel, conjuring up any belief system that you want to believe and choosing, because you have the choice. You have the free will to choose what belief systems you want to pick up. Granted, sometimes we're not in charge of what we actually think on a daily basis, but we get to choose what we react to. I'm going to repeat that again. We get to choose what we react to. We get to choose how we want to live our day. We get to choose how do we want to experience our day. We can't change the circumstances, but we can choose to change the beliefs about them. And so today I invite you to step into this attitude of just really being grateful for your life, being grateful for the moments that you have, grateful for the experiences that you have, grateful for any little small thing. And so just write a small little gratitude list for those beautiful manifestations that have already come to fruition and for the ones that are already planted in your garden. All right. Thank you, everybody. Sat Nam.